Today, we're going to do something we haven't done in a long time. We're going to speak about Workhorse, baby. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and here is a video I still get asked to make pretty much every single day. Before you run to the comment section, I will have a pinned comment in there explaining many frequently asked questions and also opposing some frequently brought up misinformation. Part of the reason I stopped making Workhorse videos was because genuinely I would get a horrific personal message. I would get told to unalive myself a lot more than usual, and it was terrible for my mental health. I don't expect you to be happy with me making a video. I don't expect anything from you, but I just expect to be treated like a human, as I have done with literally every single person I have ever come to contact with on this YouTube channel. So please just read that comment. Now, there is other reasons that I haven't been making videos. I just haven't seen as much of a need. I'm not invested in the company currently, and that is one thing I want to speak about, okay? So I want to speak about why I don't speak about them as much, why I haven't bought in yet, considering they're all the way, back down in the 7s. Most importantly, potentially, when I would consider buying back into this company, because obviously I was a huge bull on them. Now, an awful lot of fundamentals changed, an awful lot of targets weren't hit. I didn't just stop following the company, I still follow them, but that's the kind of thing we're going to speak about in today's video, just to try and clear up some questions that I'm getting asked on a daily basis. So right before we do get into it, to everybody who still shows the support, you already know, babe, you part of the family. I love you, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoy the video, please consider hitting that juicy like button, drop me a comment down below, and subscribing if you're new around here. So the primary catalyst that led to me actually recording this particular Workhorse video is this right here, okay? Workhorse Group provides update on review of operating and commercialization plans, okay? A fairly big update for investors to be getting, because let's be honest, there hasn't been near as much news for the company over the last even 6 months than there was a year 6 months back. Sadly, however, this was not the news that investors were looking for by any stretch of the imagination. So this is where we're going to start it off before I get into some of those other questions. In case you haven't been keeping up to date with Workhorse whatsoever, just know that things haven't exactly gone to plan. There is a new CEO there, and we just got this piece of news yesterday. The company has identified a number of enhancements in the production process and design of the C1000 to address customer feedback, primarily related to vehicle dynamics to increase their vehicle's payload capacity. As Workhorse has identified these enhancements and continued its review and redesign of the C1000, the company has decided to suspend deliveries of the C1000 vehicles and recall 41 vehicles it has already delivered. Now, okay, this generally could be a good long-term thing, but Workhorse has been struggling, and I mean well and truly struggling, with actually delivering vehicles for a very considerable period of time now. And there is only so long that you or I as an investor can really put up with that. There is only so long that, you can, put a bandage over what is really going on. There's only so long you can look past the fact that, their predictions are not really coming through whatsoever in their timelines. And it sucks to say, I wish I wasn't saying this. I wish that they did everything they want us to do, because I really love the outlook of this company. But you can't let emotion cloud your actual judgment. You can't just ignore fundamentals getting considerably worse as the months and as the quarters go on. And so a piece of news like this for Workhorse, I mean, why would this make me want to get back into the company now when things are already looking in a poor way? And this is another one of the reasons why, I stopped making Workhorse videos. Aside from all of the hate, abuse, etc., there just hasn't been near as much news as there was for a considerable period of time. So things such as this one here are the primary reasons why I personally haven't been buying the dips. When we were speaking about it on a weekly basis, a bi-weekly basis even, there was constant news, okay? There was upcoming catalysts. There was the USPS contract. Now, they still have things such as their drone tech, etc., which is still extremely exciting long term. They still have their C1000 vehicle, which now it looks like it's not the vehicle they expected it to be. They're going to have to do further work on it. Fundamentals have changed. Short-term growth potential has changed with the USPS contract. It really is that simple. So when would I be looking to potentially invest in this company? I'm going to need to see some really positive news. I'm going to need to see what happens with this C1000. I'm going to need to see some big contracts actually announced by the company. Not just us speculating online, not just us seeing pictures of, vans that look like a Walmart van with a Workhorse logo, things of the likes. There's always been a lot of deep due diligence done on Workhorse, But what we need is to hear it from the horse's mouth a little bit more often. You guys know me on this channel. I have a high risk tolerance. I'm still in a lot of high risk plays. But the large majority of them, you know, haven't put off their production targets or haven't put off their short-term targets to the extent that Workhorse has, and that is the difference. If Workhorse had have done more by now, if they had have delivered more vehicles, if they had have improved the balance sheet, if they had have come out with some really big contracts, or even if they had have come out with some really positive news in regards to one of the new vehicles that we've spoken about on the channel several times, then it would be easier to make a case for investing today. But all we have gotten is bad news. Now, there was always the potential for this bad news, and I genuinely think I did a really good job of portraying that in every single one of my Workhorse videos I pretty much ever made, despite being bullish. But you can't just ignore it when it actually happens. At this stage, the company expects to complete testing in the fourth quarter of 2021. We were looking at 10,000 plus, I believe 15,000 deliveries by the end of this year. Now I believe they're looking at closer to 1,000, and who knows again if that gets delayed, judging by this sentence here alone. The CEO goes on to say, our new leadership team is making decisive and necessary actions as we conduct our comprehensive operational review of the business. We have identified a number of opportunities to improve our C1000 series vehicles and are committed to getting these previously delivered vehicles back on the road. Importantly, we remain on track to communicate our new long-term strategic roadmap to enhance our trucks and operational capabilities on our third quarter earnings call. Wait and see what happens here if you are still a Workhorse investor. We continue to be confident in our ability to be a leading manufacturer of last mile delivery vehicles over the long term, and I want them to be. I so desperately want them to be, but we need to see a little bit more. When you look at the chart, it's just been a steady downtrend for a while now. 29th of June up at 18, now all the way down at 747. After that initial dip when they went all the way down to 7, they went all the way back up to the 18s. Yeah, it's been a little bit crazy to say the least. But I think it's important to understand that's when I would consider buying in again. That's when I will, you know, start treating them as a potential growth stock again when we get some good news. Maybe it'll be a little bit higher in price by then. You know, who really cares? I just think right now the risk to reward ratio is nowhere near as good as it was, even when it was twice as much in value as when we had the potential of that USPS contract. And that is why I don't speak about them as much anymore and why I haven't bought the dip. It really sucks that it played out this way. I really wish things went well for this company, and I really hope that they do go well in the future. So they are my up-to-date thoughts. Please make sure to read the comment in the comment section. It'll probably be a relatively long one, but any other frequently asked questions and frequently brought up misinformation will be answered in there. Anyway, guys, if you watched all the way till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend. I really do appreciate you being here. I really do got a lot of love for you. The support since I've come back over the last few days has been awesome. It's been awesome enough to the extent where I, you know, was able to sit down and do a Workhorse video, which for a long time now, I wasn't able to do because of my mentality. So thank you all so much. If you enjoyed the video, maybe do consider hitting that like button, drop me that comment and subscribing if you're new around here, because genuinely all of that helps me out so much. And again, it's that support that really drives me on. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. I'll see you in another video very soon. Peace.